In today's video, I meet up with an IS250 owner and we compare it to my IS350 and show some of the mods for these cars. Hello and welcome to another episode of Marty Motoring. Today we're going to be looking at the difference between the IS350 and the IS250. I'm here with the owner, Mike, of the IS250. He drove down all the way here to meet me so we can make this video. And yeah, today we're just going to be kind of comparing our cars and builds and some of the differences between the IS250 and 350. In 2006, Lexus released a second generation IS, and that was the 250 and the 350. The IS250 was available in all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, and you can get a 6-speed manual or 6-speed automatic transmission, while the IS350 was only available in rear-wheel drive with an automatic transmission. The IS350 came with 306 horsepower and a high-compression 3.5 liter V6, and the IS250 has a 2.5 liter, hence the name 250, V6 with 204 horsepower with both versions of the drivetrain. So I've been getting a lot of questions on what are the differences between these cars and what's the performance difference, what's the cost difference, and today we're just going to look at some of that. Now both of these cars, this is a 2006, 2007, they were before the F-Sport line and before the ISF, before all of that. Lexus released the IS line of the second generation, and this is what you got. I don't think the F-Sport came out till about 2008 with the introduction of the ISF. These were pretty much your options because the ISF didn't exist. And these cars are both automatic, but like I said, the 250 did come in manual, which is actually pretty rare for Lexus. They did that with the SC and the IS, but they pretty much don't do that with any other models. And of course, the higher the horsepower is, the more they like to stick to automatic transmissions. So if you follow the channel, you know that I have a Megan Racing strut tower bar, and I have all my engine covers off. I have the VIP Motos headlights, the Icon Motorsports grill, and I just put the stock emblem back on. I think Icon Motorsports makes this as well. It's just the blacked out plastic trim. I've replaced my bumper and deleted the HID cleaners because you really don't need those, and a lip on the front here. I am partially sponsored by Option Lab wheels, so I run an 18 by 8.5 in the front with a 225 tire and an 18 by 9.5 rear with a 245 stretch tire. One of my more recent videos is the VLAN taillight install, so I'll link that below. You can check that out, and I just kind of go through how I installed these. I think they look really good, gives the car a very modern look for being a 2007, kind of looks more like the 2014s. And I also have this spoiler, lip, wing, whatever you want to call it, and it just kind of gives it a nice little swoosh in the back. I have the roof spoiler here, and I have the F-Sport version 1 axle back, and it sounds really good. And of course 350, because mine's a debadged 350, and I just got to let people know.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Just real quick, in the interior I have the luxury package, so I have some seat settings and the nav, but we're going to compare it to the 250 and kind of see the differences. So mine is the luxury package 350. It's kind of one of the more expensive 350s when it was new. Of course, mine is very used with almost 160,000 miles on it. Today we're going to be looking at the IS250. This is a base model, and the owner Mike has done some work to it, so we're going to check that out. So as you can see, our cars have very similar fitment and setup. Mike actually has Megan Racing coilovers on his IS250, where I just have springs. But in the engine bay here, similar to my car, I have the Megan Racing strut tower bar. He has the Cusco, I believe it said. This is a little bit different style, Cusco versus Megan Racing strut tower bar. I think this one probably is a little more expensive, but it does the job a little better being thicker, and it probably braces a little more. One limit with springs is you can't adjust the dampening. It is what it is, where with coilovers you can do that, and that is an option here, and you can dial that in exactly to your liking. With the IS line you can get different headlights. Of course, these are the stock ones. These cars come with halogen, or you can upgrade with certain models and trims. You can get the HID. This is just the factory setup. One upgrade I've been contemplating and thinking about, and I think definitely helps with handling, is the rear strut tower bar. And this one is also by Cusco? Yeah. So that definitely helps with handling. Some more Megan Racing parts to go along with the coilovers are the adjustable sway bars, and you can see they're blue there. And there's another shot of the fitment, very similar to my car. These cars just have a very wide body to them. Kind of has a little flare in the fender area, and it just looks really good with the right wheel and fitment. Mike has put these Avid.1 wheels on here. I was actually looking at these same wheels before I got the partial sponsorship from Option Lab. I think they look really good. They have a nice concave, and they fit these cars really well. Another thing you might have noticed is the tint. So this is about a 5% tint. This is a California car, so you kind of need that for the heat and sun, where my car is just 35 and you can kind of see through it. So coming inside the car with the 250, you guys, if you watch the channel, have seen the inside of my car. I have the nav. These are just leather seats without perforation for the heating and cooling, but they still look just as bolstery and comfortable. And it's a Lexus, so you get the leather. And then that is how the non-navigation stereo looks. So either you get a screen or you get this set up here. So something I noticed is the gas and trunk buttons are two smaller buttons in the same column here, where with my car, it's a little different. And here we are in the 350, you can see the gas and trunk buttons are a little different. That's kind of the only thing besides the center navigation area that I really realized with the 250. I do have the voice button too on the steering wheel. I think that, and the call and everything like that, but that's part of the luxury package with the navigation. So I'm sure a lot of the 250s can come with that. It's just how these are set up. So there it is, the 250 and the 350. Of course, we both have our own mods and style with it, but let's hop in the car and see how they perform. So as you can see, the IS250 does keep up with the 350, but the 350 pulls away because it's 100 and something more horsepower, which makes sense. They have the same gearing and same transmissions. We both have the 6-speed automatic. It keeps up, but the 350 just pulls, and that's exactly what we expected. The 350 is just a little bit faster, and of course, then they came out with the ISF and smoked both of these cars. So there you have it. That's the difference between the 2.5 liter V6 and the 3.5 liter V6 with high compression, which gives it that horsepower. Both of these cars handle really well with the modifications we've done. Of course, roll racing isn't the best way to see the difference, but given that we had similar transmissions and just difference in horsepower and similar setups with our cars, it was a pretty accurate way to test. Now 0 to 60 on these cars, I think the IS250 is like 6 or 7 seconds, and the IS350 is under 5 in that range. There are a lot of variables, but that was a real world test here. So you might be wondering which one's more worth it. Well, it just really depends on what you need, what you do as a daily. They're both great. One has a little bit more horsepower and uses a little bit more gas, so that's a cost to factor in there. The 250s you can pick up cheaper than the 350s, obviously, and it just depends on your needs and wants for your car. There are 2 examples of what you could do with your IS250 or 350. You have to run 93 in these cars, 93 octane. Of course, in some other states, you might only have 91. Other countries, you probably don't even have the 350. You just have the 250 and 300. In Pennsylvania, we have 93 octane, and that's what you're supposed to run in these cars. The IS350 is direct and port injected, while the IS250 is only direct injected, and people have mentioned there are carbon buildup issues, and that would be the reason, but if you just redline it here and there, it'll just clear it out. So you may have noticed in this video that the IS250 looks a lot cleaner and shinier than my IS350. That is because John at Keystone Power Washers cleaned this all up, so shout out to him for cleaning the IS250 up. It's very shiny, looks great, and he is located in Milton, PA, so check out Keystone Power Washers if you're in that area. So that's about it for this video. If you found it helpful, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel for more Lexus videos in the future. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Marty Motoring. Thanks for Mike for coming out and driving all the way here with his IS250 so we can make this video. And once again, thanks for watching Marty Motoring, where we're not afraid to leave a little rubber on the road.